Okay, so now we'll talk about Vsco. What I love about Vsco is that it really helps me with color. I'm not very good at color, and I always feel very intimidated by it. Vsco has this real subtlety about it that helps me out quite a bit, and you'll see what I mean when we get into it. Not only is it subtle, but then you can control how subtle it is. So you can either capture a photo through Vsco. Again, I like to use the native camera, or you can hit the plus sign, the lower one, and the larger one, and you can bring in import from your library. So we'll just go with the same photo that we used before. You click on it, it highlights it, check, and then that brings into the library within the app. Real quickly, this library can get filled up. And a little tip is that it's doubling your memory usage, if you will, on the same photo. So you just be aware of that. Um, I learned that the hard way. So once you've got it highlighted, then at the bottom you can either cancel out, the arrow will share it, the ellipsis will delete it, or you can save it from there. But we're going to stick with the slide bars there that takes us in mode. You can see right at the bottom, and you can scroll through very easily all of the presets. Some of these are paid. It comes with quite a few free. But I love it because you can control the hue, the tint, and I kind of love that. Once you pick a color or a filter, you select it, and sometimes it's not quite right. You want to be able to control it. Again, like in PicTapGo, you want to make it your own. So you double click on that the filter that you just chose, and you can slide and control its intensity. It'll always keep the same. You can see that it always kind of stays within that same filter, but you can control how much of it is applied by moving it back and forth. Once you get it to where you want, you click OK and you're done. The one thing you can't do here that you can do in PicTapGo is you can't layer your filters. If I choose another one, then it reapplies it. It becomes the filter. Once you kind of get it where you want, you'll see below that little arrow in the white bar. You click on that, and this brings up kind of a toolbox, if you will. And basically, you're going to click on the wrench, and it's going to take you to more of your basic editing, contrast, your vignette, crop, those kind of things. And you can control the shadows, the hue within the shadows, or the highlights, cropping, of course. It's got presets if you want, and then which is I always think is kind of nice to keep it standard, but you may have a photo you kind of want to vary it on differently. You can select vignette, kind of apply it. Once you get it to where you want it to be, you can click out of it, check to everything you've done. It takes you back to the library. And from here, once it's highlighted, you can then click on the ellipsis, and you can hit save. You can delete it from here, share. Once you save it, it's going to ask you how large do you want it. I always do the actual size because I really never know the final usage. Whether, I'm sure the smallest size actually is fine for Instagram. But my advice would be to save it as the largest. Again, once you do that, it's saved to your library and saved here as well. So that's Vsco.